A World Nonprofit Organization Guide. Chapter 1. Wongo.org, World Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, provides a worldwide database of NGOs for a fee. A few NGO websites from wongo.org/resources.aspx section links. Wongo.org. Wongo.org/resources.aspx section NGODIR. Wongo.org/Africa. ADB.org, Asian Development Bank. CarnegieFoundation.org, the Carnegie Foundation. COF.org, Council on Foundations. DB.com, Deutsche Bank. FordFound.org, Ford Foundation. GatesFoundation.org, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. GrantWatch.com, GrantWatch. IRFF-EUROPE.org, International Relief Friendship Foundation. IIFWP.org, Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace. ReligiouthService.org, Religious Youth Service. SchwabFound.org, Schwab Foundation of Social Entrepreneurship. RockFound.org, the Rockefeller Foundation. Bridgeport.edu, University of Bridgeport. upeace.org, the University for Peace. UnitedWay.org, United Way. WKKF.org, WK. Kellogg Foundation. WorldBank.org, World Bank. Pantanal.org, World Conference on Preservation and Sustainable Development in the Pantanal. A free handbook to help run an NGO at wongohandbook.org. The book is free with these sections, although I did see them trying to push people to join for $30 a year for extra info for members only. NGO Overview. Definitions, fundamental nature, classification, types, numbers, history of the NGO sector. NGO country profiles. The NGO sector in particular nations. NGO organization. Mission and vision statements, organizational documents, governing body, human resources. Legal. Types of structures, incorporating and registering, tax-exempt status. Financial. Operating budget, accounting practices. Fundraising. Sources of funding, foundation grants, grant making. Marketing. Overview, marketing strategies, communications, public relations. Project management. Project management, program evaluation. Impact and risk assessment. Information management. Information management, information technology. Networking and partnerships. Networking, partnering with NGOs, relations with the United Nations and other intergovernmental organizations. Strategic planning. Steps in strategic planning, SWOT analysis. NGO accountability and ethics. Overview of NGO ethics, codes of ethics and conduct. Certification and self-certification programs, NGO ratings, and so forth. How to start an NGO. Startup funds, organizing documents, establishing a board of directors, funds and fundraising, office management. Appendix, detailed index. The worldwide NGO directory at wongo.org/resources.aspx section NGODIR is only for paying members. The worldwide NGO directory lists many NGOs for these regions, but in order to see the info on the NGOs in these lists, you have to be a member at $30 a year. South America. Oceania. Western Africa. Central America. Eastern Africa. Northern Africa. Middle Africa. Southern Africa. Northern America. Caribbean. Eastern Asia. Southeastern Asia. Southern Europe. South Central Asia. Western Asia. Eastern Europe. Northern Europe. Western Europe. Chapter 2. Lists of worldwide NGOs. International Organization websites / World Organization websites. TheGlobalFund.org, the Global Fund. ISTD.org, International Center for Trade and Sustainable Development. NATO.int, NATO. Oxfam.org, Oxfam. PAO.org, Pan American Health Organization. UN.org, United Nations. WorldBank.org, World Bank. WTO.org, World Trade Organization. WHO.org, World Health Organization. YMCA.net. IYFnet.org, International Youth Foundation. World NGO websites. anc.org.za/lists/ancpubs.html, cs.org/csq/csq.htm, cultural survival quarterly. GhanaReview.co.uk, Ghana Review International. Interaction.org/pub/constub, connections, the Alliance newsletter. Interaction.org/pub/md/mondaydv.html, Monday developments. oneworld.org/landmines, oneworld, landmines special report. vvaf.org/landmines/international/index.html, international campaign to ban landmines. warchild.org/projects/mines.html, warchild landmines project. aed.org/sid/index.html, Society for International Development. Washington, D.C. apc.org, Association for Progressive Communications. handsnet.org/handsnet, handsnet. hunger.brown.edu/hungerweb, hungerweb. idex.org, IDEX, International Development Exchange. igc.org/igc/econet, econet. igc.org/igc/labornet, labornet. igc.org/igc/peacenet, peacenet. igc.org/rbf, Rockefeller Brothers Fund. reliefnet.org, reliefnet. Soros.org, Soros Foundation Network. traveler.com/hrweb/hrweb.html, Human Rights Web. UN.org, United Nations. undcp.org/unlinks.html, UN Information Service. undp.org, UN Development Programme, UNDP. unicef.org, UNICEF. usaid.gov, U.S. Agency for International Development. peacecorps.gov, U.S. Peace Corps. igc.org/igc/womensnet, womensnet. who.ch, World Health Organization. Specific World Nonprofit Organizations / Specific World NGO Organizations. anoka.org. youtube.com/reliefweb. humanitarianresponse.info. gdacs.org. hughesweb.org. redhum.org. inform-index.org. anoka.org/surf. worldhumanitariansummit.org. humanitarianinfo.org/IAC. inzirag.org. preventionweb.net. AAAnet.org, American Anthropological Association. acpss.ahrm.org.eg, Realaram Center for Political and Strategic Studies. actionvolunteeralliance.com, Action Volunteer Alliance, New Dundee, Ontario, Canada. ACUS.org, the Atlantic Council of the United States. adamsmith.it, the Adam Smith Society, Milan, Italy. adamsmith.org, Adam Smith Institute, London, United Kingdom. adelphi.de/en/start/aktool/43496.php, redelphi. adl.org, Anti-Defamation League. aed.org, Academy for Educational Development is committed to solving social problems. aei.org, American Enterprise Institute for Public Policy Research. afpc.org, American Foreign Policy Council. africary.org, Assisting Africa. africaresearchinstitute.org, Africa Research Institute. AFSA.org, American Foreign Service Association. AFSA.org, American Foreign Service Association is the professional association of the United States Foreign Service. AFSC.org, American Friends Service Committee, Conflict Resolution Program. AICGS.org, American Institute for Contemporary German Studies. AIIA.ASN.AU, Australian Institute of International Affairs. Alfred Moser Stichting.nl, Alfred Moser Foundation. AIMC.org.za, Afro-Middle East Center. AmericasPolicy.org, America's Program. AMIDEast.org, Cooperation between Americans and the people of the Middle East and North Africa. Amnesty.org, Amnesty International. aparc.stanford.edu, Asia/Pacific Research Center, Stanford University. RU.org.af, Afghanistan Research and Evaluation Unit, AREU. REJ.org, Applied Research Institute Jerusalem. ARNOVA.org, Association for Research on Nonprofit Organizations and Voluntary Action. ASANINST.org/ENG/index.php, ASAN Institute for Policy Studies. ASCFUSA.org, American Security Council Foundation. AsiaSociety.org, Asia Society. AspenInstitute.org, the Aspen Institute. AtlasUSA.org, Atlas Economic Research Foundation. AWA.org, Association on Third World Affairs Inc. AINRAND.org, Ayn Rand Center for Individual Rights. BasicInt.org, British American Security Information Council. BasaCenter.org, the Begin Sadat Center for Strategic Studies, Barlan University. BIISS.org, Bangladesh Institute of International and Strategic Studies. Brookings.edu, the Brookings Institution. CAEI.com.ar, Argentine Center of International Studies. CAL.org, Center for Applied Linguistics. KangoEthiopia.org, Canadian Network for NGOs in Ethiopia, Kango. CarnegieCouncil.org, Carnegie Council on Ethics and International Affairs. CarnegieEndowment.org, Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. CARNEGIE.org/lang Carnegie Middle East Center. CarterCenter.org, Advancing Human Rights and Alleviating Unnecessary Human Suffering. CarterCenter.org, the Carter Center. CascadePolicy.org, Cascade Policy Institute. CASE-UKRAINE.com.ua, Case Ukraine. CASIndia.com, Center for Asian Strategic Studies. Cato.org, Cato Institute. CSAIA.org, Carnegie Council on Ethics and International Affairs. ccrweb.ccr.uct.ac.za, Center for Conflict Resolution. cdhow.org, CD Howe Institute. cdr.dk, Center for Development Research. CED.org, Committee for Economic Development. CED.uz, the Center for Economic Development in Uzbekistan. CELAT.org, Center for Latin American Strategic Studies, CELAT. CEMLA.org, Center for Latin American Monetary Studies. CEP2.fr, Center for International Perspective Studies. CEPAR.org, Center for Economic Policy Research. CEPS.be, Center for European Policy Studies. CERGE-EI.cz, Center for Economic Research and Graduate Education Economics Institute. CESD.az, Center for Economic and Social Development. CFR.org, Council on Foreign Relations. CGDev.org, Center for Global Development. Children'sDefense.org, Children's Defense Fund. CIC.nyu.edu, Center on International Cooperation, New York University. CICP.org.kh, Cambodian Institute for Cooperation and Peace. SIGIOnline.org, Centre for International Governance Innovation. CIIA.org, Canadian Institute of International Affairs. CIPOnline.org, Centre for International Policy. Civicus.org, Civicus World Alliance for Citizen Participation. Civita.no/n-civita. CNPOnline.org, Centre for National Policy. CNSS.org, Centre for National Security Studies. ComW.org, Commonwealth Institute. Conferenceboard.ca, Conference Board of Canada. Conflict.colorado.edu, Conflict Research Consortium. CONFLICT-PREVENTION.net, European Platform for Conflict Prevention and Transformation. Contraditorio.pt, Contradicentrio. CoopAmerica.org, Green America. Costasur.org, Costasur. CostCH.or.tz, Tanzania Commission for Science and Technology. Counterpoint.uk.com, Counterpoint. CPHR.sk/English, Centre for Economic Development. CPJ.org, Committee to Protect Journalists. CPRIndia.org, Centre for Policy Research. CPRN.com, Canadian Policy Research Networks. CPS.org.uk, Centre for Policy Studies. crest.fr/pageaql/index.html, Centre for Research in Economics and Statistics. CSD.bg, Centre for the Study of Democracy. CSIS.org, Centre for Strategic and International Studies. Dayan.org, Moshe Dayan Centre for Middle Eastern and African Studies. DEI.or.jp, the Distribution Economics Institute of Japan. Demos.co.uk, Demos. DFG.de, Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft. DGAP.org, German Council on Foreign Relations. DGAP.org, Research Institute of the German Society for Foreign Affairs. DiplomaticSociety.org, the Diplomatic Society. Disarm.igc.org, NGO Committee on Disarmament, Peace and Security. Discovery.org, Discovery Institute. DIW.de, German Institute for Economic Research. EBRI.org, Employee Benefit Research Institute. ECDPM.org, European Centre for Development Policy Management, ECM. ECLAC.cl, Latin American and Caribbean Institute for Economic and Social Planning. Ecologic.eu, Ecologic Institute. econ.yale.edu/EG Center, Economic Growth Center, Yale University. econom.nsc.ru/IEIE, Institute of Economics and Industrial Engineering, Siberian Branch, Russian Academy of Sciences. econstirat.org, Economic Strategy Institute. ECSSR.ac.ae, Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research. EDRC.am, Economic Development and Research Center. Educational organization committed to advancing the achievement of a just and peaceful world. IDOS.org.au, IDOS Institute. EIPA.nl, European Institute of Public Administration. EisenhowerInstitute.org, Reith Eisenhower Institute. Empowers young people to fight global poverty. EOIOnline.org, Economic Opportunity Institute. APOnline.org, Employment Policies Institute. EPSI.org, Ethics and Public Policy Center. ESRI.ie, Economic and Social Research Institute. ESRmetro.org, Educators for Social Responsibility, metro area concerned about the dangers of nuclear war. ESRnational.org, Educators for Social Responsibility. ETLA.fi, the Research Institute of the Finnish Economy. Eurasia.org, the Eurasia Foundation. FacingHistory.org, Facing History and Ourselves. FAO.org, Food and Agricultural Organization. FAS.org, Federation of American Scientists. FES.de, Friedrich Ebert Foundation. flfoundation.org, Florida Chamber Foundation. Focal.ca, Canadian Foundation for the Americas. Focusweb.org, Focus on the Global South. Foodfirst.org, Institute for Food and Development Policy. Fourthfreedom.org. FPA.org, Foreign Policy Association. FPIF.org, Foreign Policy in Focus. FPRI.org, Foreign Policy Research Institute. FreedomForum.org, The Freedom Forum. FreedomHouse.org, Freedom House. Freema.org, Lithuanian Free Market Institute. Friend.org.rs, Foundation for the Advancement of Economics. Fridi.org, Fried. Friendsofeurope.org, Friends of Europe. Friendsofmabure.org, Friends of Maburet. fsdinternational.org/about/employment, Foundation for Sustainable Development. RAND.org, RAND Corporation. Fundforpeace.org, the Fund for Peace. Gatewayhouse.in, Gateway House. GFIP.org, Global Financial Integrity. GHANA-OUTLOOK.UK, Ghana Outlook. Globalstudies.org.uk, Centre for Global Studies. Goldmercury.org, Gold Mercury International. GoodGovernanceForum.com, Good Governance Forum. GPOTCenter.org, Global Political Trends Center, Istanbul Culture University. GreenInstitute.net, The Green Institute. GWU.edu/NSA Archive, National Security Archive, The George Washington University. HaguePeace.org, Hague Appeal for Peace. Heritage.org, The Heritage Foundation. HerzliyaConference.org/Eng, Institute for Policy and Strategy. Heidi.harvard.edu, Harvard Institute for International Development. HKPRI.org.hk, Hong Kong Policy Research Institute. Hoover.org, Hoover Institution on War, Revolution, and Peace. HRW.org, Human Rights Watch. Hudson.org, Hudson Institute Inc. IADB.org/Intal, Institute for the Integration of Latin America and the Caribbean. IAE.or.jp, the Institute of Applied Energy. IAGS.org, Institute for the Analysis of Global Security. IAI.IT, Institute of International Affairs. IAS.edu, Institute for Advanced Study. IBNGR.edu.pl, the Gdansk Institute for Market Economics. ICAP.ac.cr, Central American Institute of Public Administration. ICG.org, International Center for Economic Growth, University of the Pacific. IDAInternational.org, IDA, Initiative for the Development of Africa. IDE.go.jp, Institute of Developing Economies, Japan External Trade Organization. IDEA.int, International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. IDRC.ca, International Development Research Center. IDS.ac.uk/IDS, Institute of Development Studies. IEA.org.uk, Institute of Economic Affairs. IEGIndia.org, Institute of Economic Growth, University of Delhi. IER.si, Institute for Economic Research. IFO.de, IFO Institute for Economic Research. IFPA.org, the Institute for Foreign Policy Analysis Inc. IFTF.org, Institute for the Future. IGC.org, the Institute for Global Communications. IGC.org/DGAP, the Development Group for Alternative Policies. IGIDR.ac.in, Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research. IIASA.ac.at, International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis. IIE.com, Peterson Institute for International Economics. IIPF.org/index.htm, Re-International Institute of Public Finance. IIPS.org, Institute for International Policy Studies. iir.nccu.edu.tw, Institute for International Relations, National Chengchi University. iisd.org, International Institute for Sustainable Development. ild.org.pe, Institute for Liberty and Democracy. Independent.org, the Independent Institute. inpr.org.tw, Institute for National Policy Research. inzesblog.wordpress.com, Institute for National Strategic Studies. institut-thomas-more.org, Institute Thomas More. Interaction.org, Interaction American Council for Voluntary International Action. inythelo.org.za, Inythelo, the South African Institute for Advancement. iog.ca, Institute on Governance. ipcri.org, Israel/Palestine Center for Research and Information. ips-dc.org, Institute for Policy Studies. ips-dc.org, Institute of Policy Studies. irc-online.org, International Relations Center. irpp.org, Institute for Research on Public Policy. isdp.eu, Institute for Security and Development Policy. ics.edu.sg, Institute of Southeast Asian Studies. isis-bg.org, Institute for Security and International Studies. isl.or.jp, Institute for Science of Labor. isn.fz.ch, International Relations and Security Network. iss.nl, Institute of Social Studies. isssi.org.pk, Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad. issr-kyoto.or.jp, Institute of Systems Science Research. iswf.us, Imam Shirazi World Foundation. ivo.sk, Institute for Public Affairs. iwkoln.de, German Business Institute. jcer.or.jp, Japan Center for Economic Research. jointcenter.org, Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies. jpri.org, Japan Policy Research Institute. kdi.re.kr, Korea Development Institute. kursi.or.jp, Kyushu Economic Research Center. kiet.re.kr, Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade. keys.or.jp, Kansai Institute of Information Systems. lauder.wharton.upenn.edu, the Lauder Institute, University of Pennsylvania. lcnp.org, Lawyers Committee on Nuclear Policy. myc.jmu.edu, Center for International Stabilization and Recovery. mefn.org, Middle East Futures Network. mepc.org, Middle East Policy Council. mepei.com, Middle East Political and Economic Institute. maryp.org, Middle East Research and Information Project. mesoamericaonline.net, Mesoamerica Institute for Central American Studies. medistai.org, Middle East Institute. mir.org.my, Malaysian Institute of Economic Research. migrationpolicy.org, Migration Policy Institute. mpjc.org, Marin Peace and Justice Coalition. nacla.org, North American Congress on Latin America Inc. nautilus.org, Nautilus Institute for Security and Sustainable Development. northbyeastar.org, National Bureau of Economic Research. nbr.org, the National Bureau of Asian Research. ncair.org, National Council of Applied Economic Research. ncpia.org, National Center for Policy Analysis. nd.edu/Kroc INSD, Joan B. Kroc Institute for International Peace Studies. ned.org, the National Endowment for Democracy. nemw.org, Northeast Midwest Institute. netaid.org, Mercy Corps Educates, Inspires and newamerica.net, New America Foundation. neta.ac.th, the National Institute of Development Administration. nisar.ac.uk, National Institute of Economic and Social Research. nip.org, National Institute for Public Policy. nps.edu, U.S. Naval Postgraduate School. nupi.no, Norwegian Institute of International Affairs. NewYorkCFuture.org, Center for an Urban Future. NYSDRA.org, New York State Dispute Resolution Association, Inc. OAS.org, Organization of American States. Of Life. OpenBriefing.org, Open Briefing. OSCE.org, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Oxfam.org, Oxfam International. OxfordResearchGroup.org.uk, Oxford Research Group. Oxonia.org, Reoxonia, the Oxford Institute for Economic Policy. PacificResearch.org, Pacific Research Institute for Public Policy. PeaceBrigades.org, Peace Brigades International. PeaceEducators.org, Concerned Educators Allied for a Safe Environment. PeaceExchange.org, Men's International Peace Exchange. PeaceJusticeStudies.org, Peace and Justice Studies Association. PeruSupportGroup.org.uk, Peru Support Group. PIDE.org.pk, Pakistan Institute of Development Economics. PIDS.gov.ph, Philippine Institute for Development Studies. PIRCenter.org, Per Center for Policy Studies. planet.org/conflict/default.html, Creative Response to Conflict. policy-network.net, Policy Network. popcouncil.org, Population Council. populari.org/index.php $BGFUS1SYXQ =, Repopulary, Center for Socio-Economic Studies. populationinstitute.org, Population Institute. ppic.org, Public Policy Institute of California. ppionline.org, Progressive Policy Institute. prb.org, Population Reference Bureau. princeton.edu/PIRS, Princeton Institute for International and Regional Studies, PIRS. prio.no, International Peace Research Institute Oslo. priub.org, Peace Research Information Unit Bonn, Germany. peacecorps.org, People for Successful Korean Reunification, Peace Corps. psi.org.uk, The Policy Studies Institute. puc-rio.br, Institute of International Relations. Reason.org, Reason Foundation. research-soken.or.jp, Nippon Research Institute. reut-institute.org, The Root Institute. rff.org, Resources for the Future. riaz.gr, Research Institute for European and American Studies. rightweb.irc-online.org, RightWeb. riia.org, Chatham House. rsf.org, Reporters Without Borders. rti.org, Research Triangle Institute. russellsage.org, Russell Sage Foundation. cirr.org.za, South African Institute of Race Relations. sais-jhu.edu, the Edwin O. Reischauer Center for East Asian Studies, the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, Johns Hopkins University. Sampsoniaway.org, Sampsoniaway Magazine. SaveTheChildren.org. Sarudsindia.org, Sirids Foundation. CETADC.org, CETADC. SFCG.org, Search for Common Ground. SFI.dk, Danish National Institute of Social Research. CIPAZ.org, Monitor the conflict in Chiapas, support the search for peaceful solutions. CIPARI.se, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. smf.co.uk, Social Market Foundation. Southerncentre.org, the Southern Centre for International Studies. srdi.or.jp, Systems Research and Development Institute of Japan. ssrc.org, Social Science Research Council. stairs.org.in, stairs. stimson.org, the Henry L. Stimson Center. stritecouncil.org, the Strite Council. sussex.ac.uk/sbru, Sprue Science and Technology Policy Research, University of Sussex. swp-berlin.org, Stiftung Wissenschaft und Politik, German Institute for International and Security Affairs. tai.org.au, the Australia Institute. takingitglobal.org, Takingit Global. tarkai.hu, Social Research Informatics Center. topcenter.org.il, Top Center for Social Policy Studies in Israel. tcf.org, the Century Foundation. tsv.org.tr, Turkish Economic and Social Studies Foundation, TESAFE. thechicago.council.org, the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. thedialogue.org, Inter-American Dialogue. tier.org.tw, Taiwan Institute of Economic Research. toeniststeiner-kreis.de/n, Steiner Kreis EV. Transparency.org, Transparency International. uc.edu/wcci/about_about.html, World Council for Curriculum and Instruction is a transnational. ui.se, Swedish Institute of International Affairs. un.org, United Nations. unctad.org, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. unicef.org, helps children get the care and stimulation they need in the early years. uni-hamburg.de, University of Hamburg. uni-kiel.de/ifw/homeng.htm, Rekiel Institute of World Economics. universal-rigHTS.org, Universal Rights Group. upi-fiia.fi, Finnish Institute of International Affairs. urban.org, Urban Institute, a nonpartisan economic and social policy research organization. urban.org, Urban Institute. us.artofliving.org, Art of Living. usip.org, United States Institute of Peace. usip.org, US Institute of Peace. vki.hu/eindex.shtml, Re-Institute for World Economics of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. volunteer.org.nz, Global Volunteer Network. vso.org.uk, Voluntary Services Abroad. washingtoninstitute.org, the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. web.mit.edu/sys, Center for International Studies, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. weinstitute.org, World Engagement Institute. who.in/n, World Health Organization. who.in/n, World Health Organization. wiiw.ac.at, the Vienna Institute for International Economic Studies. winrock.org, Winrock International Institute for Agricultural Development. womenscommission.org, Women's Commission for Refugee Women and Children. worldpeace.org, World Peace Prayer Society. worldpolicy.org, World Policy Institute. worldwatch.org, World Watch Institute. wri.org, World Resources Institute. Specific Emergency Relief Organization websites. Action Against Hunger, aah-usa.org. CARE, careusa.org. Caritas Internationalis, caritas.org. Catholic Relief Services, CRS, USCC. crs.org. Doctors Without Borders, dwb.org. Emergency Nutrition Network, ENN. ENNonline.net. Independently funded organisation based in Dublin, Ireland, UK. Food for the Hungry International, FHI. fh.org. Hunger Plus, Inc. hungerplus.org. Interaction. Interaction.org. Interaction is a coalition of over 150 US-based non-profit organizations. International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC. icrc.org/eng. International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC. ifrc.org. International Organization for Migration, IOM. iom.int. International Rescue Committee, IRC. theirc.org. Lutheran World Federation. lutheranworld.org. Specializing in emergency relief linked to disaster preparedness. Mennonite Central Committee, MCC. mennonitecc.ca. Mercy Corps, MC. mercycorps.org. Non-profit organization providing emergency relief. Overseas Development Institute, ODI. odi.org.uk. Oxfam. Oxfam.org. Oxfam is a development and relief agency working to end poverty. Refugees International. refintl.org. Relief International. ri.org. Save the Children. SaveTheChildren.org. The Office of U.S. Foreign Disaster Assistance, OFDA. usaid.gov/r_humanitarian_assistance/disaster_assistance. United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. unicef.org. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. unhcr.org/cgi-bin/texas/vtx/home. United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. ochaonline.un.org. U.S. Committee for Refugees, USCR. Refugees.org. World Vision International. worldvision.org. Chapter 3. World Nonprofit Websites. World Nonprofit List Websites. tigweb.org/resources/orgs. abong.org.br, Associação Brasileira de Organizações Não Governamentais. China Development Brief.cn/?page_ID=455 China Development Brief, Directory of International NGOs in China. China Development Brief.cn/?page_ID=1027 China Development Brief, Chinese NGO Directory. choike.org/nuevo_eng/links.html, Choik Directory, Southern Civil Societies. devdir.org, Directory of Development Organizations. idealist.org. gdrc.org/ngo/japan-ngo/start.html, Japan NGO Directory. alertnet.org/member_directory.htm, Reuters AlertNet Member Directory. pvo.net/usaid, U.S. Agency for International Development Private Voluntary Organizations Registry. wongo.org/resources.aspx $?NGODIR, World Association of Non-Governmental Organizations Directory. World Nonprofit Websites 1. 350.org, 350.org. conservationmediagroup.org, Conservation Media Group. HimalayanTrust.org, Himalayan Trust. internationalfunders.org, International Funders of Indigenous Peoples. lubiconzola.ca, Lubicon Solar Energy. tinyhousewarriors.com, Tiny House Warriors. winetowater.org, Wine to Water. World Nonprofit Websites 2. amnesty.org, Amnesty International. aspeninstitute.org/home, Aspen Institute. baha'i.org. bis.org, Bank for International Settlements. biometrics.org. bioethics.com, bioethics.com. b2science.org, Biosphere. carnegieendowment.org, Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. chathamhouse.org, Chatham House/Royal Institute of International Affairs. cityoflondon.gov.uk/corporation, City of London Corporation. CFR.org, Council on Foreign Relations. earthcharterinaction.org, Earth Charter Initiative. Europa.eu/index_n.htm, European Union. FTAA-alca_e.asp, Free Trade of the Americas. G20.org, G20. GU80/CCPS/index.html, Institute for Communitarian Policy Studies. IMF.org/en/news, IMF International Monetary Fund. IHF-HR.org, International Helsinki Federation for Human Rights. Monarchy.net, International Monarchist League and Constitutional Monarchy Association. CGKFoundation.org, Charles G. Cook Foundation. mi6.gov.uk, mi6. azonano.co, A to Z of Nanotechnology. Nationalcenter.org, the National Center for Public Policy Research. NSA.gov, National Security Agency. NATO.int, NATO. NATO.int/docu/review, NATO Review. NORAD.mil, NORAD. OneWorldTrust.org, One World Trust. OSARchivum.org, Open Society Archives. OptimumPopulation.org, Optimum Population Trust. OECD.org, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. RAND.org/news, RAND Corporation. ReformTHUN.org, Reform the UN. ResponsibilityToProtect.org, Responsibility to Protect. RothschildFoundation.eu, Rothschild Foundation. SecularHumanism.org. SPJ.org, Society of Professional Journalists. SPP.gov, SPP News. Trilateral.org, the Trilateral Commission. OKChar.org, United Nations Human Rights. UN.org/ESA/population/UNPOP.htm, United Nations Population Division. UN.org/apps/press releases, UN press releases and meetings coverage. UniversityWorldNews.com, University World News. WorldBank.org, the World Bank. WorldCitizen.org 80/index.php, World Citizen Foundation. WFM-IGP.org, World Federalist Movement and Institute for Global Policy. WorldGovernment.org, World Government of World Citizens. WHO.in/n, World Health Organization, WHO. WTO.org/English/news_e/news_e.htm, World Trade Organization. Chapter 4. Big list of NGOs, no websites. List of non-profit organizations worldwide, no websites. This list comes from unog.ch, which lists organizations without their websites. A. La Vista. Communication Sociale. K. Munshi Ujanar Pabua Hagar Sa Memorial Foundation. Ubuntu for Development. Abdul Momin Khan Memorial Foundation. Avibaman Foundation. Abiodun Adabia Welfare Foundation. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Corporation Family Violence Prevention and Aboriginal Legal Service of Western Australia. Academia Internazionale di Arte Moderna. Academic Associations of General Practitioners. Academic Council on the United Nations System. Academy for Educational Development. Academy for Future Science. Academy for Mobilizing Rural-Urban Action Through Education. Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine. Academy of Criminal Justice Sciences. Academy of Labor and Social Relations. Academy of Mining Sciences. Access Bangladesh Foundation. Acronym Institute. ACT Alliance, Action by Churches Together. Action Aids Auxiliary Familias de Munis. Action Canada for Population and Development. Action Contra la Fame. Action des chrétiens activistes des droits de l'homme à Shavunda. Action for peace through prayer and aid. Action. Health Incorporated. Action internationale pour la paix et le développement dans la région des Grands. Action of Human Movement. Action pour le développement de l'agriculture et de la pêche avec protection. Action Secours Ambulance. Action Sensibilisation sur les nouvelles technologies de l'information et de la. Action solidaire pour un développement entretenu à la base. Action Aid. Actions on Gender, Citizenship, and Development. Actions solidaires de soutien auxiliary organizations et d'appui auxiliary libertés. Adala. Legal Center for Arab Minority Rights in Israel. Adelphi Research. Admiral Family Circle Islamic Community. Adolescent Health and Information Projects. Advancement of Women. Adventist Development and Relief Agency. Advisory Network for African Information Society. Advocates for Human Rights. Advocates for Youth. AEF International. Equalia. Aerospace Medical Association. Afghan Poverty Relief. AFRE Cure, All for Reparations and Emancipation. Africa. Africa and Middle East Refugee Assistance. Africa Center for Citizens Orientation. Africa Culture Internationale. Africa Development Interchange Network. Africa Genetics Association. Africa Humanitarian Action. Africa Peace Forum. Africa Safe Water Foundation. Africa Youth's International Development Foundation. Africa America Institute. African Action on AIDS. African Agency for Integrated Development. African Aid Organization. African American Islamic Institute. African Artists for Development. African Association of Education for Development. African Business Roundtable. African Canadian Legal Clinic. African Center for Monetary Studies. African Center for Community and Development. African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies. African Citizens Development Foundation. African Community Resource Center. African Computer and Technology Literacy Awareness Program. African Development Association. African Institute for Democracy. African Medical and Research Foundation. African Palliative Care Association. African Peace Network. African Regional Agricultural Credit Association. African Services Committee. African Technical Association. African Technology Development Link. African Wildlife Foundation. African Women Empowerment Guild. African Women's Association. African Women's Development and Communication Network. African Youth for Transparency. African Youth Movement. African Youth Network for Sustainable Development. African American Society for Humanitarian Aid and Development. Africans Unite Against Child Abuse. AfriCare. Afro Center for Development. Peace and Justice. Afro-Asian People's Solidarity Organization. AfroMediaNet. AFS Intercultural Programs. Agents d'aide à la coopération technique et au développement. Agents de développement économique et culturel Nord-Sud. Agents International pour le développement. Agents pour le développement intégré au Congo. Agency Latino-Americana de Información. Agency for Cooperation and Research in Development. AGUL Foundation. Aging Research Center. Agir en faveur de l'environnement. Agir Ensemble pour les droits de l'homme. Agrenska Foundation. Agri-Energy Roundtable. Agricultural Missions. Agriculturalists and Economists. Agriculture for Arab Countries. Agudas Israel World Organization. Ahmedabad Women's Action Group. Aide Internationale pour l'Enfance. AIDS Foundation East-West. AIDS Healthcare Foundation. AIDS Information Switzerland. AIDS Advocacy Coalition. AISEC International. AIGA. AIM for Human Rights. An Salish Kendra. Airline Ambassadors International. Airlines Worldwide Telecommunications and Information Service. Airports Council International. Ajganal Community Project. Akademsko Društvo za Međunarodni odnos. Akina Mama wa Africa. Al-Mazan Center for Human Rights. Al-Zubair Charity Foundation. Alan Guttmacher Institute. Alland Islands Peace Institute. Albert B. Sabin Vaccine Institute. Albert Schweitzer Institute. Aldet Center. Al-Yahud International Association. Al-Hakim Foundation. Al-Haq. Aliran Kest Aran Negara National Consciousness Movement. Al-Koei Foundation. All About Social, Economic, Educational Rights Foundation. All China Women's Federation. All India Christian Council. All India Movement for Seva. All India Shabir Mbog Society for Scientific and Educational Research. All India Women's Conference. All India Women's Education Fund Association. All Pakistan Women's Association. All Russia Research Institute. All China Environment Federation. Alliance Creative Community Project. Alliance Defense Fund. Alliance for Africa. Alliance for Arab Women. Alliance for Marriage. Alliance Forum Foundation. Alliance Niger Nature. Alliance to End Childhood Lead Poisoning. Alliance Toward Harnessing Global Opportunities Corporation. Allied Industries Workers. All Russian Public Organization of Disabled People with Multiple Sclerosis. All Russian Social Fund, the Russian Children Foundation. All Russian Society of Disabled People. All Russian Society of the Deaf / All Russian Public Organization of Persons with Almaty Institute. Almana Voluntary Organization. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. Al-Salam Foundation. Altruistic International. Al-Bayt Foundation. Alumni Association of the Willem C. Vis International Commercial Arbitration. Alzheimer's Disease International, International Federation of Alzheimer's. Ambassadors for Children. America Mideast Educational and Training Services. American Anthropological Association. American Association for the Advancement of Science. American Association of Engineering Societies. American Association of Jurists. American Association of University Women. American Bar Association. American Cancer Society. American Civil Liberties Union. American Cleaning Institute. American Conservative Union. American Correctional Association. American Delegation of the Order of Danilo I. American Diabetes Association. American Family Association of New York. American Fisheries Society. American Foreign Insurance Association. American Foreign Law Association. American Forest and Paper Association. American Foundation of Savoy Orders. American Heart Association. American Indian Law Alliance. American Jewish Committee. American Life League. American Medical College of Homeopathy. American Mothers. American Motorcyclist Association. American Oil Chemists Society. American Planning Association. American Psychological Association. American Society for Engineering Education. American Society for Training and Development. American Society of International Law. American Society of Safety Engineers. American Society of the Italian Legions of Merit. American Youth Understanding Diabetes Abroad. Americans for UNFPA. America's Society. Amicali Marocaine des Handicaps. Amigos do Protocolo de Kyoto. Amos de la Terre. Amos des étrangers au Togo. Amity Sans Frontières Internationale. Amizadi. Amman Center for Human Rights Studies. Amnesty International. Amuta for NGO Responsibility. Anchor of Salvation International Ministries. And Children. And Cultural Development. and foreign investments, and human rights, and plants, and sports development of children and young people, and textiles workers, and the Far East of the Russian Federation, and the prevention and reduction of traffic accidents. Anglican Consultative Council, Ankara Foundation of Children with Leukemia, Anay Educational Society, Antioch Christian Center, Anti-Slavery International, Anti-Violence Center, Antonio Restrepo Barco Foundation, APNI AAP Women Worldwide, Aquafed, International Federation of Private Water Operators, Arab African American Women's Leadership Council, Arab Center for the Independence of the Judiciary and the Legal Profession, Arab Commission for Human Rights, Arab Council for Childhood and Development, Arab Federation for Engineering Industries, Arab Federation for Food Industries, Arab Fertilizer Association, Arab Iron and Steel Union, Arab Lawyers Union, Arab Mexican Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Arab Network for Environment and Development, Arab NGO Network for Development, Arab Organization for Human Rights, Arab Penal Reform Organization, Arab Red Crescent and Red Cross Organization, Arab Society for the Protection of Industrial Property, Arab Society of Certified Accountants, Arab Sugar Federation, Arab Urban Development Institute, Arbitration, Archbishop e Católico Actions for Africa COF, Architects de l'Urgence, Architects for Peace, Archidona Onless, Argentine Society of Pediatrics, Arias Foundation for Peace and Human Progress, Armenian Assembly of America, Armenian Constitutional Right Protective Center, Armenian International Women's Association, Armenian Relief Society, Art of Living Foundation, Artfully Aware, Article 19, International Center Against Censorship, Asabi Shihoyaradua Foundation, Asais Fid White Cane, Asbestos International Association, Asia Crime Prevention Foundation, Asia Dars Hana, Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, Asia Pacific Forum on Women, Law and Development, Asia Pacific Network Information Center, Asia Pacific Women's Watch, Asia South Pacific Association for Basic and Adult, Asia Japan Women's Resource Center, Asian Buddhists Conference for Peace, Asian Center for Human Rights, Asian Center for Organization Research and Development, Asian Consultancy on Tobacco Control, Asian Cultural Forum on Development, Asian Development Center, Asian Environmental Society, Asian Federation of Laryngectomies Association, Asian Forum for Human Rights and Development, Asian Forum of Parliamentarians on Population and Development, Asian Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Network, Asian Institute of Transport Development, Asian Legal Resource Center, Asian Media Information and Communication Center, Asian Migrant Center, Asian Non-Governmental Organizations Coalition for Agrarian Reform and Rural, Asian Pacific Youth Forum, Asian Partnership for the Development of Human Resources in Rural Asia, Asian People's Disability Alliance, Asian Women in Cooperative Development Forum, Asian Women's Human Rights Council, Asian Youth Council, Asian Pacific Resource and Research Center for Women, Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, Asia Pacific Human Rights Information Center, Asia Pacific Rural and Agricultural Credit Association, Asociação Pernambucana de Defesa da Natureza, Associación Centro Indígena para el Desarrollo Sostenible, Associación Civil Consorcio Desarrollo y Justicia, Associación Civil Education, Ambiente y Territorio, Asociación Civil Observatorio Social, Asociación Cubana de las Naciones Unidas, Asociación Cultural Proyecto de Costa Rica, Asociación de Amigos de las Naciones Unidas, Asociación de Antiguas Alumnas del Colegio Madres Irlandesas, Asociación de Federaciones y Asociaciones de Empresarios del Mediterráneo. Asociación Dominicana de las Naciones Unidas. Asociación Gilberto. Asociación Habitat Pro. Asociación Gestioir.org. Asociación Internacional de Presupuesto Público. Asociación Cunas Unidas por Nabguana. Asociación Mensajeros de la Paz. Asociación Mujeres Unidas para el Microcrédito. Asociación Nacional Cívica Femenina. Asociación Nacional de Empresarios de Colombia. Asociación Panameña de Corredores y Promotores de Bienes Raíces. Asociación para el Desarrollo Foro Rural Mundial. Asociación Proyecto Hombre. Asociación Regional de Empresas de Petróleo y Gas Natural en Latinoamérica y el Asociación del Internacional de Cooperares y Partneriat Almería Negra y María. Asociación Pro Democracia. Assemblée del Dun por los Filippo y la lucha contra la exclusión social. Assemblée des Premières Nations du Québec et du Labrador. Assemblée parlementaire de la Francophonie. Assembly of First Nations, National Indian Brotherhood. Asociação Brasileira de Cielos e Popol. Asociação Brasileira de Gays, Lesbicas e Transgêneros. Asociação de Mulheres contra a Violência. Asociação Nacional dos Empresarios. Asociação Novo Encanto de Desenvolvimento Ecológico. Associated Country Women of the World. Associación Companhia del Opere. Associación Actuarial Internacional. Associación Alberi Charitable. Associación Algerienne d'Alphabétisation. Associación Algérienne pour la Planification Familiale. Association Amos du Centre Hospitalier Universitaire Mohamed VI. Association Angolaise pour les Activités Sociales. Association Apprentissage Sans Frontières. Association Burkinabé pour la Survie de l'Enfance. Association Camerounaise pour la Prise en Charge de la Personne âgée. Association Catholique Internationale des Services pour la. Association Cœur Africaine. Association Congolaise d'Éducation et de Prévention contre les maladies et la drogue. Association Culturelle d'aide à la promotion éducative et sociale. Association d'aide à l'éducation de l'enfant handicap. Association d'aide auxiliary enfants cancéreux. Association de défense des droits de l'homme. Association de développement de Corba. Association de développement de la vallée du Dra. Association de la jeunesse congolaise pour le développement. Association de l'intervention pour les mères. Association de solidarité. Aide et Action Enfance Mali ASAA/M Jigayatun. Association de soutien auxiliary orphelins du Vietnam. Association d'équipements collectifs La Castellane. Association des Badinga du Congo. Association des consommateurs de télécommunications de Côte d'Ivoire. Association des États généraux des étudiants de l'Europe. Association des femmes éducatrices du Mali. Association des jeunes pour l'agriculture du Mali. Association des jeunes pour le développement humain et la protection des. Association des jeunes pour le développement positif. Association des volontaires pour l'assistance au développement en Guinée. Association d'Union. Association École de la Cause Freudienne. Association Européenne des Cheminots. Association Femmes et Développement. Association Femmes Solile de Haiti. Association Fonds d'aide internationale au développement. Association for Aid and Relief. Association for Assistance to Families with Disabled Children. Association for Childhood Education International. Association for Citizens Tolerance and Cooperation. Association for Democratic Initiatives. Association for Emissions Control by Catalyst. Association for Integrated Development Kumala. Association for Progressive Communications. Association for Protection of Refugee and Internally Displaced Women and Association for Reproductive and Family Health, Association for Social and Environmental Development, Association for Solidarity with Freedom-Deprived Juveniles, Association for Sustainable Community Development, Association for Sustainable Community Development, Association for Sustainable Human Development, Association for the Advancement of Agricultural Science in Africa, Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education, Association for the Prevention of Torture, Association for the Promotion of the International, Association for the Study of the World Refugee Problem, Association for Women's Career Development in Hungary, Association for Women's Rights in Development, Association for World Education, Association François-Xavier Bagnoud, Association Francophone Internationale des Directeurs d'Établissements Scolaires, Association Grains de Paix, Association Guinéenne pour la réinsertion des toxicomans, Association Haitienne d'aide auxiliaire enfants nécessiteux et au relèvement des, Association IBN pour le traitement des malades et sinistres, Association Internationale de lutte contre la pauvreté et pour le développement, Association Internationale des droits de l'enfant en difficulté dans la souffrance, Association Internationale des médecins pour la promotion de l'éducation et de la, Association Internationale des régions francophones, Association Internationale des traducteurs de conférences, Association Jeunesse Action Développement, Association Jeunesse Culture Loisirs Techniques, Association Malienne d'Initiatives et d'Actions pour le Développement, Association Marocaine des Droits Humains, Association Marocaine pour la Promotion de la Femme Rurale, Association Mauritanienne pour la Promotion du Droit, Association Mauritanienne pour la Santé de la Mère et de l'Enfant, Association Mondiale de Prospective Sociale, Association Mondiale de Psychanalyse du Champ Freudien, Association Mouvement pour la Défense de l'Humanité et Abolition de la Torture, Association Nationale Al-Hidn, Association Nationale de Volontariat Touza, Association Nigérienne des Scouts de l'Environnement, Association of African Development Finance, Association of African Entrepreneurs, Association of African Universities, Association of African Women for Research and Development, Association of American Railroads, Association of Arab Universities, Association of Asian Confederation of Credit Unions, Association of Commonwealth Universities, Association of Development Financing Institutions in Asia and the Pacific, Association of European Manufacturers of Internal, Association of European Parliamentarians for Africa, Association of European Shipbuilders and Ship Repairers, Association of European Universities, Association of Faculties of Agriculture in Africa, Association of Families and Women in Rural Areas, Association of Financial and Industrial Groups of Russia, Association of Former Diplomats of China, Association of Former United Nations Industry and Development Experts, Association of Geoscientists for International Development, Association of Indigenous Peoples of the North, Siberia and Far East of the Russian, Association of Inter-Balkan Women's Cooperation Societies, Association of Latin American Railways, Association of Medical Doctors of Asia, Association of Official Analytical Chemists, Association of Organizations for Social and Educational Assistance, Association of Presbyterian Women of Aota, Association of Soluble Coffee Manufacturers of the Association of the Bar of the City of New York, Association of the Indigenous Peoples in the Ryukyus, Association of the International Automobile Carriers of the Republic of Tajikistan, Association of Third World Studies, Association of United Families International, Association of War-Affected Women, Association of World Citizens, Association of World Reindeer Herders. Association Points Cur. Association pour la Collaboration Global. Association pour la Formation et l'Insertion Sociale de l'Adolescent et de la Femme. Association pour la lutte contre le travail des enfants au Niger. Association pour la promotion de la lutte contre les violences faites aux femmes et. Association pour la promotion de l'emploi et du logement. Association pour la protection de la nature et de l'environnement de Kerwa. Association pour la recherche sur la sclérose latérale amyotrophique et autres. Association pour l'action sociale et le développement. Association pour le développement de la société civile angolaise. Association pour le développement des initiatives citoyennes et européennes. Association pour le développement du canton Buloy du Ja. Association pour le développement durable. Association pour le développement économique, social, environnemental du Nord. Association pour l'intégration et le développement durable au Burundi. Association Santa et Environnement. Association Sénégalaise pour la promotion des énergies renouvelables. Association Tierra Incognita. Association Togolaise d'études, de recherche et d'appui au développement humain. Association Togolaise pour les Nations Unies. Association Trait d'Union des Jeunes Burkinabé. Association Tunisie Méditerranée pour le développement durable. Association Tunisienne de la communication et des sciences spatiales. Association Tunisienne de lutte contre les MST/SIDA. Association Tunisienne de prévention de toxicomanie. Association Tunisienne des auberges et tourisme de jeunes. Association Tunisienne des droits de l'enfant. Association Tunisienne des femmes démocratiques. Association Tunisienne des mères. Association Tunisienne pour la protection de la nature et de l'environnement. Association VERC au développement. Association Amici dei Bambini. Association Casa Famiglia Rosetta. Association Comunità Papa Giovanni XXIII. Association Irene. Association Nazionale Volontari Telefono Rosa. Assyrian Aid Society. Assyrian Universal Alliance, America's Chapter. Asylum Access. Atheist Alliance International. Athletes United for Peace. Au Burundi. Aube Nouvelle pour la Femme et le Développement. Auspice Stella. Australian Association of Yoga in Daily Life. Australian Catholic Social Justice Council. Australian Lesbian Medical Association. Australian Reproductive Health Alliance. Austrian Federal Economic Chamber. Austrian Senior Experts Pool. Austrian Society for Environment and Technology. Austro-Egyptian Chamber of Commerce GATT. Autism Speaks. Autonomous Women's Center. Autre Vie. Aviation Sans Frontières. Avocats Sans Frontières. AVSI Foundation. AWES Center for Development Services. Ayanda Rojan Nakbigan Foundation. Ayuda y Solidaridad con las Niñas de la Calle. Azerbaijan-Turkey Business Association. Azerbaijan Women and Development Center. Azerbaycan Grinan Avro-Atlantica Tekilat. B. Badile Resource Center for Palestinian Residency and Refugee Rights. Baha'i International Community. Bahrain Women's Society. Baltic and International Maritime Council. Baltic Sea Forum. Bangladesh Mahila Parishad. Bangladesh Nari Pragati Sangha. Bangladesh NGOs Network for Radio and Communication. Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committee. Bangladesh Women Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Bangui ET Dialogue. Baobab for Women's Human Rights. Baptist World Alliance. Bar Association for International Governmental Organizations. Baranu Institute for Economic Development. Barca Foundation. Badani International Development Fund for Indigenous Peoples of the North, Siberia. Batul Welfare Trust. Battelle Memorial Institute. Be active. Be emancipated. Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty. Beckley Foundation. Bafa Women and Child Care Foundation. Bethnam Deheshpur Charity Organization. Beijing Children's Legal Aid and Research Center. Beijing's Haitian Migrant Workers Legal Aid and Research Center. Beit Issy Shapiro, Amutat Avi. Belgique. Belgrade Center for Human Rights. Benevolent Community Education and Rural Development Society. Benin Environment and Education Society. Benin Rural Assistance. Betriebsgroeandungen in Albanian. Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayata Samitai Jaipur. Bharat Ashram Sangha. Big Brothers Big Sisters International. Bina Itera Foundation. Biogas Sector Partnership Nepal. Biopolitics International Organization. Biovision Stiftung für Ökologische Entwicklung. BirdLife International. Bischöfliches Hilfswerk Meisreer. Black Sea Civil Society Solidarity Association. Black Women's Agenda. Blog Office Center of People's Help International Public Charitable Organization. Blessed Virgin Mary. B'nai B'rith. Baka Sanwazai Shri. Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Sanstha. Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. Branch of the Russian Academy of Medical Sciences. Brazilian Foundation of America. Bread of Life Development Foundation. Bridges International. Bridges of Hope Project. British Humanist Association. British Overseas NGOs for Development. Buddha's Light International Association. Buddhist Tzu Foundation. Build Jamaica Foundation. Building and Social Housing Foundation. Bundesarbeitsgemeinschaft der Seniorenorganisationen. Bunyad Literacy Community Council. Bureau International de la Recuperation. Büro zur Umsetzung von Gleichbehandlung. Business Council for Sustainable Energy. Business Humanitarian Forum. C. Cairo Institute for Human Rights Studies. Cairo Regional Center for International Commercial. Cameroon Youths and Students Forum for Peace. Cameroon. Cameroon Terre Nouvelle. Campaign for Innocent Victims in Conflict. Campaign Life Coalition. Campesinas de la República de Colombia. Canadian Association of Elizabeth Fry Societies. Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse. Canadian Comprehensive Auditing Foundation. Canadian Council for International Cooperation. Canadian Council of Churches. Canadian Environmental Network. Canadian Federation of Agriculture. Canadian Federation of University Women. Canadian Forestry Association. Canadian HIV/AIDS Legal Network. Canadian Labour Congress. Canadian Race Relations Foundation. Canadian Research Institute for the Advancement of Women. Canadian Voice of Women for Peace. Cancer Aid Society. Canners International Permanent Committee. Capital Humano y Social Alternativo. Captive Daughters. Karam Asia Bearhood. CARE. CARE International. Caribbean Agricultural Credit Association. Caribbean and Latin America Trade Association. Caribbean Association for Feminist Research and Action. Caribbean Conservation Association. Caribbean Food Crops Society. Caribbean Medical Association. Caribe. Caritas Internationalis. Carmelite NGO. Carnegie Council on Ethics and International Affairs. Cargeo and Environment. Carter Center. Cass Spice. Catering, Tobacco and Allied Workers Associations. Catholic Daughters of the Americas. Catholic Health Association of India. Catholic Institute for International Relations. Catholic International Education Office. Catholic International Union for Social Service. Catholic Medical Mission Board. Catholic Organisation for Relief and Development Aid. Catholic Women's League Australia. Catholics for Choice. Católicas por el Derecho a Decidir. Católicas por el Derecho a Decidir. Córdoba. Caucasian Feminist Initiative. Caucus for Women's Leadership. Cause Premier. Celtic League. Center for Organizational Development. Center for Africa Development and Progress. Center for Alcohol and Drug Research and Education. Center for Assistance to Human Rights Protection. Center for Development of International Law. Center for Development Services. Center for Economic and Social Rights. Center for Egyptian Women's Legal Assistance Foundation. Center for Environmental and Management Studies. Center for Global Community and World Law. Center for Health and Gender Equity. Center for Inquiry. Center for Interethnic Cooperation. Center for International Earth Science Information Network. Center for International Environmental Law. Center for International Health and Cooperation. Center for International Human Rights. Center for International Rehabilitation. Center for International Virtual Schooling. Center for Justice and International Law. Center for Latin American Monetary Studies. Center for Migration Studies of New York. Center for Oceans Law and Policy. Center for Organization Research and Education. Center for Policy Studies. Center for Practice-Oriented Feminist Science. Center for Regional Policy Research and Cooperation Studiorum. Center for Reproductive Rights. Center for Research on the New International Economic Order. Center for Respect of Life and Environment. Center for Studies on Turkey. Center for Victims of Torture. Center for Women's Global Leadership. Center of Concern. Central British Fund for World Jewish Relief. Central Florida Earth Alliance and Florida Coalition for Peace and Justice. Centre Africain de Recherche Industrielle. Centre Béninois pour le Développement des Initiatives à la Base. Centre d'accompagnement des alternatives locales de développement. Centre d'accompagnement des autochtones pygmies et minoritaires vulnérables. Centre d'accueil et de volontariat pour orphelins, abandonnés et handicaps du. Centre d'animation, de formation. De recherche et d'appui au développement. Centre de développement agro-pastoral de Jalou. Centre de documentation. De recherche et d'information des peuples autochtones. Centre de formation auxiliary techniques informatiques. Centre de recherche et d'éducation pour le développement. Centre de recherche et d'information pour le développement. Centre de recherches et de promotion pour la sauvegarde des sites et monuments. Centre des dames maurides. Centre d'études diplomatiques et stratégiques. Centre d'information et de conseil des nouvelles spiritualités. Centre Europe Tiers Monde. Centre féminin pour la promotion du développement. Centre for Advocacy Studies and Peace. Center for Affordable Water and Sanitation Technology. Center for Climate Change and Environmental Study. Center for Community Economics and Development Consultants Society. Center for Democracy and Development. Center for Development and Population Activities. Center for Development Communication. Center for Development Strategy. Center for Economic and Leadership Development. Center for Environment and Development. Center for Environment and Sustainable Development. Center for Equality Rights and Accommodation. Center for European Constitutional Law, Themistocles and Dimitris Tsitsos. Center for Human Rights. Center for Human Rights and Peace Advocacy. Center for International Cooperation. Center for International Sustainable Development Law. Center for Public Health. Center for Research in Rural and Industrial Development. Center for Social Research. Center for the Study of Administration of Relief. Center for the World Religions. Center for Women, the Earth, the Divine. Center Independant de Recherches et d'Initiatives pour le Dialogue. Centre National d'information sur les droits des femmes et des familles. Center on Housing Rights and Evictions. Centers de Acuil de l'Espoir. Centrist Democrat International. Centro de Derechos Humanos Miguel Agustín Pro Juárez. Centro de Estudio y Formación Integral de la Mujer. Centro de Estudios de Estado y Sociedad. Centro de Estudios Europeos. Centro de Estudios Legales y Sociales. Centro de Estudios sobre Asia y Oceania. Centro de Estudios sobre la Juventud. Centro de Información y Educación para la Prevención del Abuso de Drogas. Centro de Investigación Social. Formación y Estudios de la Mujer. Centro de Salud Familiar la FE. Centro de Recerca y Documentación Febrero 74. Centro Ecuatoriano de Derecho Ambiental. Centro Integrado de Estudos y Programas de Desenvolvimiento Sustentable. Centro México de Derecho Ambiental. Centro Nacional de Prevención y Defensa Social. Centro Panafricano Quichuo Chawanafrica. Centro Regional de Derechos Humanos y Justicia de Género. Centro Diferenza. Cercle de Recherche sur les droits et les devoirs de la personne humaine. Cercle d'initiative commune pour la recherche, l'environnement et la qualité. CESV Fondation. Chabad, International Jewish Educational and Cultural Network. Chaitanya Samskarakavadi Chinnamangalore PO. Challenges. Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Production of the Argentine Republic. Chamber of Computer Logistics People Worldwide. Charitable Institute for Protecting Social Victims. Charitable Public Fund Polygon, August 29. Charitable Society for Social Welfare. Charity Foundation for Special Diseases. Chartered Association of Certified Accountants. Chernobyl Union International. Cherokee Nation of New Jersey. Chicago Task. Child Aid Development Foundation International. Child Care Consortium. Child Development Foundation. Child Family Health International. Child Foundation. Child Helpline International. Child Rights Action Coalition. Child Welfare League of America. Child Link Foundation. Children. Children Education and Social Welfare Society. Children International. Children of a Better Time. Children of Peru Foundation. Children of the World. Regional Public Charitable Fund of Assistance to Cultural. Children's Human Rights Center of Albania. Chilean Corporation for Children Youth Rights. China Arms Control and Disarmament Association. China Association for International Science and Technology Cooperation. China Association for NGO Cooperation. China Association for Preservation and Development of Tibetan Culture. China Association for Science and Technology. China Association of Women Entrepreneurs. China Care and Compassion Society. China Disabled Persons Federation. China Education Association for International Exchange. China Energy Fund Committee. China Environmental Protection Foundation. China Family Planning Association. China Foundation for Poverty Alleviation. China Great Wall Society. China Green Foundation. China International Council for the Promotion of Multinational Corporations. China International Public Relations Association. China NGO Network for International Exchanges. China Society for Human Rights Studies. China Society for Promotion of the Guangke Program. China Songqing Ling Foundation. Chinese Association for International Understanding. Chinese Immigrants Services. Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Chinese People's Association for Peace and Disarmament. Chinese Society for Sustainable Development. Chinese Young Volunteers Association. Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group. Christian Aid. Christian Blind Mission. Christian Children's Fund. Christian Conference of Asia. Christian Legal Fellowship. Church Women United. Church World Service. Churches. CIDSET. Circulation of the Press. Citizens Alliance for Consumer Protection of Korea. Citizens Alliance for Saving the Atmosphere and the Earth. Citizens Coalition for Economic Justice. Citizens for Decent Housing. Citizens Movement for Environmental Justice. Citizens Network for Sustainable Development. Citizens Rights Protection Society. Citizens United for Rehabilitation of Errants. Citizenship. CIDINE. Regional Network of Local Authorities for the Management of Human. Civicus, World Alliance for Citizen Participation. Civil Resource Development and Documentation Center. Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center. Civil Society Platform for Social Protection. Clean Energy Promoting Citizens Forum. Climate Action Network Association. Climate Institute. CLIPSIS. Club of Dakar. Club of Madrid. Coalition Against Trafficking in Women. Coalition Gay et Lesbienne du Québec. Coalition Nationale de Guinée pour les droits et la citoyenneté des femmes. Coalition of Activist Lesbians. COC Nederland. Colectiva Mujer y Salud. Colegio de Abogados Especialistas en Derecho Ambiental de Colombia. Collaborative International Pesticides Analytical Council. Collaborative Labeling and Appliance Standards Program. Collectif des Femmes Africaines du Hainaut. Collectif des Organisations des Jeunes Solidaires du Congo, Kinshasa. Collectif Sénégalais des Africains pour la promotion de l'éducation relative à. Collegium International Neuropsychopharmacologicum. Colombia Unida por el Respeto al Adulto Mayor. Colombian Commission of Jurists. Colonie des Pionniers de Développement. Colombian Confederation of NGOs. Combustion Engines. Comisión Jurídica para el Autodesarrollo de los Pueblos Originarios Andinos. Comisión Mexicana de Defensa y Promoción de los Derechos Humanos. Comisión para la Investigación de Malos Tratos a las Mujeres. Comité FK2, CNR. Comité catholique contre la femme et pour le développement. Comité d'action pour les droits de l'enfant et de la femme. Comité de apoyo a los trabajadores agrícolas. Comité de lutte contre les pandémies pour le développement durable au Cameroun. Comité español de representants de personas con discapacidad. Comité français des organisations non gouvernementales pour la liaison et. Comité français pour l'Afrique du Sud. Comité international pour le respect et l'application de la Charte africaine des droits. Comité national d'action pour les droits de l'enfant et de la femme. Comité national d'entraide de la jeunesse et de l'enfance. Comité nigérian sur les pratiques traditionnelles ayant effet sur la santé des femmes. Comité pour les relations internationales de jeunesse de la Communauté française de. Commission africaine des promoteurs de la santé et des droits de l'homme. Commission nationale des femmes travailleuses de Guinée. Commission of the Churches on International Affairs of the World Council of. Commission on Voluntary Service and Action. Commission to Study the Organization of Peace. Committee for Economic Development. Committee for European Construction Equipment. Committee for Hispanic Children and Families. Committee for International Cooperation in National Research in Demography. Committee of Agricultural Organizations in the EEC. Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations. Committee on Space Research ITU. Commonweal. Commonwealth Association of Surveying and Land Economy. Commonwealth Human Ecology Council. Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative. Commonwealth Pharmaceutical Association. Communes de l'Artibonite. Communication. Communications Coordination Committee for the United Nations. Communities. Community and Family Services International. Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. Community Awareness Raising and Advocacy Ventures Around Needs. Community Development Volunteers for Technical Assistance. Community Education Services Canada. Community Emergency Response Initiative. Community of Sant'Egidio. Community Research and Development Center. Community Social Welfare Foundation. Community Youth Network Program. Community-Based Rehabilitation Network. Compagnons d'Action pour le Développement Familial. Company of the Daughters of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul. Compassion Africa Aged Foundation. Competitiveness Company. Complexes related with agricultural development. Computer Professionals for Social Responsibility. Communication Cultural. Concern for Environmental Development and Research. Concern Worldwide US. Concerned Women for America. Conseil mondial de Congrès diplomatiques des aumôniers pour la paix universelle. Concordis International Trust. Conditions in Health. Conectas Direitos Humanos. Confederación Latinoamericana de Cooperativas de Ahorro y Crédito. Confederation Européenne des Cadres. Confederation Fiscale Européenne. Confederation of Asia-Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Confederation of Businesswomen of Russia. Confederation of European Forest Owners. Confederation of European Paper Industries. Confederation of Fire Protection Association International. Confederation of Food and Drink Industries of the EEC. Confederation of German Forest Owners Associations. Confederation of International Trading Houses Associations. Confederazione Generale Italiana del Lavoro. Conference of European Churches. Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations in Consultative Relationship with Conflicts. Congregation of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd. Congregations of St. Joseph. Congress of Aboriginal Peoples. Congress of Racial Equality. Conscience and Peace Tax International. Conseil de Jeunesse Pluriculturelle. Conseil des Jeunes Congolais de l'étranger. Conseil en Education des Premières Nations. Conseil International des Organisations de Festivals des. Conseil International du Sport Militaire. Conservation Force. Conserve Africa Foundation. Consorcio Boliviano de Juventudes, Casa de la Juventud. Consortium Congo Development. Consortium d'appui auxiliary actions pour la promotion et le développement de l'Afrique. Consortium for Street Children. Consultative Council of Jewish Organizations. Consumers International. Contact Base. Convention of Independent Financial Advisors. Convocatoria para la Defensa Ambiental. Cooperation and Participation in Overseas NGOs. Cooperation and Partnership Organization. Cooperation Center for Scientific Research relative to Tobacco. Cooperativa Técnico-Científica de Base. Cooperación Internacional. Coordinadora Andina de Organizaciones Indígenas. Coordinadora de la Mujer. Coordinadora Española para el Lobby Europeo de Mujeres. Coordinating Board of Jewish Organizations. Coordinating Committee for International Voluntary Service. Coordination Française du Lobby Européen des Femmes. Coordination Immigrés du Sud du Monde. Coordination Sud. Cork Forest Conservation Alliance. Corporación Centro de Estudios de Derecho, Justicia y Sociedad. Corporación Excelencia en la Justicia. Corporación para la Defensa y Promoción de los Derechos Humanos Reiniciar. Corporación para la Investigación, el Desarrollo Sostenible y la Promoción Social. Corporación Red Nacional de Mujeres Comunales, Comunitarias. Indigenas y. Corporate Accountability International. Corporation of Opportunity and Joint Action. Corporativa de Fundaciones. Corps de Reflexion et de Planification pour l'Utilité Sociale. Corrections India. Correspondence and Exchanges. Council for American Students in International Negotiations. Council for Development of Economic and Social Research in Africa. Council for International Development. Council for International Organizations of Medical Sciences, Council of American Overseas Research Centers, Council of Bureaus, Council of European National Youth Committees, Council of International Programs, Council on Health Research for Development, Council on International and Public Affairs, Countries of the EEC, Country Women Association of Nigeria, Couple to Couple League International, Covenant House, Credo Action, Crime Stoppers International, Crop Life International, Cross Cultural Solutions, Crowley Children's Fund, Q. Brady, Cultural Survival, D. Dairy Society International, Dangerous Goods Advisory Council, Danish 92 Group, DAR Al-Insan Association, DARE America, David M. Kennedy Center for International Studies, Daya Pertiwi Foundation, Dayami Complex Bangladesh, Day Top Village Foundation, Dulhome Et Day Pupils, December 18 VZW, December 12 Movement International Secretariat, Defense for Children International, Deficiencia y Soas Familias, Delta Kappa Gamma Society International, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Democracy Coalition Project, Demokratizna Unia Kobiet, Danes Finri Association, Dental Care International Foundation, Deprived Child, NU, De Droits Humains et Juridics, Dulanjenberg, Deutsche Model United Nations, Deutscher Naderschutzring, Deutsches Komitee für Women, Developing World, Development, Development, Development Alternatives, Development Alternatives with Women for a New Era, Development Innovations and Networks, Development Promotion Group, DevNet Association, Dhaka Asania Mission, Dhammakaya Foundation, Diabetic Association of Sri Lanka, Dianova International, Dignity International, Diplo Foundation, Disabilities, Disabled Peoples International, Disarm Education Fund, Disarmament Archives, Discrimination, Disease and Related Disorders Societies, Disorders, Dia All Ukrainian Women's People's Democratic Association, Jin Initiative, Doctors Worldwide, Documentalists, Dogalhay Atai Kora Modernigi, Society for the Protection of Nature, Doha International Institute for Family Studies and Development, Dominican Leadership Conference, Dominican Union of Journalists for Peace, Dominicans for Justice and Peace, Order of Preachers, Dones per la Libertad y Democracia, Drama Institute, Droit à l'Energie SOS Futur, Drug Abuse Information Rehabilitation and Research Center, Drug Abuse Prevention Center, Drug and Substance Abuse, Drug Free America Foundation, Drug Prevention Network of Canada, Drugs Scope, Du Pain pour Chaque Enfant, DUI Hwa Foundation, Duke of Edinburgh's Award International Foundation, Durable, Dutch Council for Refugees, Genoa Association, E8, Eagle Eyes Association for Afghan Displaced Youth, Ekokadamanobiku Nayan Sangstha, Earth Child Institute, Earth Council, Earth Day Network, Earth Society Foundation, Earth Corps, Earth Justice, Earthquakes and Megacities Initiative, Earth Rights International, East and Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Projects, Eastern African Sub-Regional Support Initiative for the Advancement of Women, Eastern Alliance for Safe and Sustainable Transport, Eastern Regional Organization for Public Administration, Eastern Sudan Women Development Organization, East-West Institute, East-West Management Institute, Eco Accord, Center for Environment and Sustainable Development, Eco-Agriculture International, Ecocosm Dynamics, Eco-Ecolo, Eco-Forum of Non-Governmental Organizations of Uzbekistan, Ecologic Institute for International and European Environmental Policy. Economic Community. Economic Research Committee of the Gas Industry. Economic Internationale. Economists for Peace and Security. Ecopeace Middle East Environmental NGO Forum. Eco-Spirituality Foundation. Ecoterras International Environmental Association of River Keepers. Ecumenical Advocacy Alliance. Ecumenical Federation of Constantinopolitans. Edison Electric Institute. Edmund Rice International. Educatio para Electio Critica. Education. Education. Education Center for Women in Democracy. Education for Employment Foundation. Education International. Efficiency. Egyptian AIDS Society. Egyptian Association for Educational Resources. Egyptian Center for Women's Rights. Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Egyptian Organization for Human Rights. Egyptian Red Crescent Society. Ikapachi Foundation. ECTA Welfare Society. Electoral Reform Society of Great Britain and Ireland. Electronic Commerce World Institute. Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation. Emmaus International Association. Endeavour Forum. Enfants du Monde. Droitstel Home. Engender. Engender Health. Engine Manufacturers Association. Engineering. Engineering. Engineering Committee on Oceanic Resources. English International Association of Lund. English-Speaking Union International Council. Ensemble Allons dans la Paix. Ensemble Luttens contre le Sida. Environic Foundation International. Environment Action Association. Environment Support Group. Environmental Camps for Conservation Awareness. Environmental Coalition for North America. Environmental Defense Fund. Environmental Development Action in the Third World. Environmental Investigation Agency. Environmental Management for Livelihood Improvement, WAYS Facility. Environmental Protection and Conservation Organization. Environmental Rights Action / Friends of the Earth Nigeria. Environmental Women's Assembly. Environmental de Likend. Episcopalians. Equal Right to Life. Equality. Equality Now. Equidad de Género, Ciudadanía. Trabajo y Familia. Equid Institute. Equitas International Center for Human Rights Education / Equitas Center. Erevna International Peace Center. E-Space Afrique International. Et des Enfants. Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention. Ethics Institute of South Africa. Ethiopian World Federation. Eurasian Harm Reduction Network. Euromontana. European Academy of Arts, Sciences and Humanities. European Advisory Council for Technology Trade. European AIDS Treatment Group. European Alliance of Press Agencies. European Apparel and Textile Organization. European Association for Animal Production. European Association for Research on Plant Breeding. European Association of Agricultural Economists. European Association of Automotive Suppliers. European Association of Refrigeration Enterprises. European Atomic Forum IAEA. European Boating Association. European Broadcasting Union ITU. European Bureau for Lesser Used Languages. European Catering Association. European Centre for Constitutional and Human Rights. European Centre for Law and Justice. European Chemical Industry Council. European Committee for Young Farmers and 4-H Clubs. European Committee of Sugar Manufacturers. European Computer Manufacturers Association ITU. European Confederation of Agriculture, IAEA. European Confederation of Woodworking Industries. European Container Manufacturers Committee. European Council for Agricultural Law. European Cyclists Federation. European Disability Forum. European Electronic Messaging Association, European Environmental Bureau, European Environmental Citizens Organization for Standardization, European Federation for Intercultural Learning, European Federation for the Welfare of the Elderly, European Federation for Transport and Environment, European Federation of Fiberboard Manufacturers, European Federation of Management Consultants, European Federation of National Associations of Engineers, European Federation of National Maintenance Societies, European Federation of Older Students at Universities, European Federation of Road Traffic Crash Victims, European Fertilizer Manufacturers Association, European Food Law Association, European Garage Equipment Association, European Industrial Gases Association, European Institute, European Intermodal Association, European Landowners Organization, European Law Students Association, European Liaison Committee for Pulp and Paper, European Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association, European Mediterranean Commission on Water Planning, European Natural Gas Vehicle Association, European Network of Policewomen, European Organization for Quality, European Road Safety Equipment Federation, European Roma Rights Center, European Solidarity Towards Equal Participation of People, European Space Policy Institute, European Tea Committee, European Transport Safety Council, European Union Association in the United States, European Union of Developers and House Builders, European Union of Jewish Students, European Union of Public Relations, European Union of Women, European Window Film Association, European Women's Lobby, European Youth Forum, Euro Platforms European Economic Interest Grouping, Eurosolar Turkey, Evangelical Fellowship of India Commission on Relief, Evergreen Club of Ghana, Exchange and Cooperation Center for Latin America, Ex-Volunteers International, F. Fairleigh Dickinson University, Fair Trade Labeling Organizations International, Families of Victims of Involuntary Disappearance, Famille Debaut, Family Action Foundation, Family Africa, Family in Life, Family Care International, Family Educational Services Foundation, Family Health International, Family Planning Association of Pakistan, Family Planning Association of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Family Research Council, Family Welfare Foundation of India, Family Welfare in Brazil Civil Society, Farmers Educational and Cooperative Union of America, Fatima Women's Network, Fauna and Flora Preservation Society, Fayette Companies, Fazaldad Human Rights Institute, FEY Alegria, Federación de Asociaciones de Defensa y Promoción de los Derechos Humanos, Federación de Mujeres Progresistas, Federación de Organizaciones y Juntas Ambientalistas de Venezuela, Federación Española de Mujeres Directivas, Ejecutivas, Profesionales y Empresarias, Federación Estatal de Lesbianas, Gays, Transsexuals y Bisexuals, Federación Internacional de Asociaciones de Ayuda Social, Ecológica y Cultural, Federación Internacional de FEY Alegria, Federal Union of European Nationalities, Federatie van Nederlandse Vereniging tot Integratie van Homoseksualiteit, Federation Africaine des Parents d'Élèves et Étudiants, Fédération des Organisations non gouvernementales du Sénégal, Fédération des Villes Moyennes, Fédération Européenne des Centres de Recherche et d'Information sur les sectarisme, Fédération Européenne des Femmes Actives au Foyer, Federation for Peace and Conciliation, Federation for Women and Family Planning, Fédération Internationale des Grossistes, Importateurs et Exportateurs en Furnitures, Fédération Internationale Libre des Déportés et Internes de la Résistance, Federation of African Consultants. Federation of Afro-Asian Insurers and Reinsurers. Federation of American Scientists. Federation of American Women's Clubs Overseas. Federation of Associations of Former International Civil Servants. Federation of Balkan Turks and Associations for Émigrés. Federation of Cuban Women. Federation of Environmental and Ecological Diversity for Agricultural Revampment. Federation of European Chemical Societies. Federation of European Manufacturers of Friction Materials. Federation of European Motorcyclists Associations. Federation of European Rope, Twine and Netting Industries. Federation of Independent Trade Unions of Russia. Federation of Islamic Medical Associations. Federation of Jain Associations in North America. Federation of National Representations of the Experiment in International Living. Federation of Saskatchewan Indian Nations. Federation of the European Salmon and Trout Growers. Federation of Trade Unions of Ukraine. Federation of Western Thrace Turks in Europe. Federation of Women Groups. Federation of Women Lawyers in Kenya. Federation of Zoroastrian Associations of North America. Felix Varela Center. Feminenza Kenya. Feminist League. Feminist Majority Foundation. Feminist Press. Femme Développement Entreprise en Afrique. Femme Afrique Solidarite. Femmes Autochtones du Québec. Femmes Solidaires. FIA Foundation for the Automobile and Society. Finland National Committee for Unwomen. Finnish Youth Cooperation. Fiorello H. LaGuardia Foundation. Fire Rescue Development Program. Firuzhnia Charity Foundation. First Nations Summit. Flora Tristan Peruvian Women's Center. Focus on the Family. Focus on the Family Association. Folklore et d'Ars Traditionnels. Fondation Chantal Baya. Fondation Congo Assistance. Fondation Connaissance et Liberté. Fondation des Œuvres pour la Solidarité et le Bien-être Social. Fondation LKEF pour le Développement Regional. Fondation Européenne pour le Développement Durable des Regions. Fondation Générieuse Développement. Fondation Guile. Fondation Haïtienne pour l'Habitat et l'Intégration des Sans-Abris. Fondation Humanis. Fondation Italy. Fondation La Providence. Fondation Maman Henriette Conti. Fondation Marocaine de l'Éducation pour l'Emploi. Fondation Mohamed V pour la Solidarité. Fondation Mohamed VI pour la Recherche et la Sauvegarde de l'Avenir. Fondation Nature et Vie. Fondation Niami. Fondation Ested Elahi. Éthique et Solidarité Humaine. Fondation pour la Promotion de la Santé et le Développement de la Recherche. Fondation pour le Dialogue des Civilisations. Fondation pour les études et recherches sur le développement international. Fondation pour l'étude des relations internationales et du développement. Fondation Suisse Maroc pour le développement durable. Fondation Sergur. Fondation Yves Rocher. Fondazione Don Carlo Nacchi. Fondazione Giovanni e Francesca Falcone. Fondazione Marista per la Solidarietà Internazionale. Fondazione Opera Campana dei Caduti. Fondazione San Patrignano. Fonds pour le Développement Énergétique Durable. Food and Water Watch. Food for the Hungry International. Food First Information and Action Network. For Materials and Structures. Forest Alliance of British Columbia. Forest Peoples Program. Forest Stewardship Council. Forsta Institute for Ocean and Mountain Studies. Forests Monitor. Forums de violences sexuelles et discriminations sexistes. Forum Azeri pour la femme marocaine. Forum for Women and Development. Forum francophone des affaires. Forum Macrobin pour l'environnement et le développement. Forum of African Voluntary Development Organizations. Forum of Culture and Arts of Uzbekistan. Forum of Women's NGOs of Kyrgyzstan. Forum pour l'intégration des migrants. Forum. Foundation. Foundation Ecpat International. Foundation for a Culture of Peace. Foundation for Aboriginal and Islander Research Action Aboriginal Corporation. Foundation for Autism Support and Training. Foundation for Ecological Security. Foundation for Gaia. Foundation for Global Community. Foundation for Global Sports Development. Foundation for Hospices in Sub-Saharan Africa. Foundation for Human Horizon. Foundation for Human Rights and Freedoms and Humanitarian Relief. Foundation for Human Rights Initiative. Foundation for International Environmental Law and Development. Foundation for International Training. Foundation for Preventing Youth Violence. Foundation for Research on Technology Migration and Integration. Foundation for Responsible Media. Foundation for Subjective Experience and Research. Foundation for the American Indian. Foundation for the Child and the Family. Foundation for the Development of Knowledge Summa Veritas. Foundation for the Establishment of an International Criminal Court. Foundation for the Future. Foundation for the Refugee Education Trust. Foundation for the Rights of Future Generations. Foundation for the Rights of the Family. Foundation for the Social Promotion of Culture. Foundation for the Support of the United Nations. Foundation for Women. Foundation of Japanese Honorary Debts. Foundation Partners for Local Development. Foundation Projecta for Women and Development Services. Framework Convention Alliance for Tobacco Control. France Libertés. Fondation Danielle Mitterrand. France Terre d'Assaut. Franciscans International. Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt Institute. Fraternité Notre Dame. Frathek Foundation Common Initiative Group. Freen Financial Services. Free Africa Foundation. Free World Foundation. Free World Institute. Free Youth Association of Bucharest. Freedom House. Free Muse, the World Forum on Music and Censorship. Fridtjof Nansen Institute. Friedrich Ebert Foundation. Friedrich Naumann Foundation. Friends of Africa International. Friends of the Earth International. Friends of the Global Fund Africa. Friends of the Institute for Strategic Threat Analysis and Response. Friends Society in Social Service. Friends World Committee for Consultation. Frontline. International Foundation for the Protection of Human Rights Defenders. Fund for Women in Asia. Fund of Aid for Youth. Fundeco de Asistencia Médica Internacional. Fundeco Museu do Home Americano. Fundació Futbol Club Barcelona. Fundación 8 de Marzo para la Promoción de Mujeres y Jóvenes. Fundación Alvar Alice. Fundación Ambiente y Recursos Naturales. Fundación Antonio Núñez Jiménez de la Naturaleza y el Hombre. Fundación Argentina a las Naciones Camino a la Verdad. Fundación Atenea Grupo. Fundación Cimientos. Fundación Cultural Bauer. Fundación Dara Internacional. Fundación de Ayuda contra la Drogadicción. Fundación de Ayuda y Promoción de las Culturas Indígenas Rosa Caldival. Fundación de la Solidaridad y el Voluntariado de la Comunidad Valenciana. Fundación Democrática Italo-Americana. Fundación Diagram Rama. Intervention Psicosocial. Fundación Ecologia y Desarrollo. Fundación UDS. Fundación Familias Monoparentales Isadora Duncan. Fundación Global Democracia y Desarrollo. Fundación Guayasamín. Fundación Hernan Diana. Fundación Juan Cavalxa. Fundación Instituto de Cultura del Sur. Fundación Instituto Psicopedagógico Uruguayo. Fundación Intervida. Fundación La Era Agrícola. Fundación Mi Casa. Fundación Mujeres en Igualdad. Fundación Neotropica. Fundación Paz Libre. Fundación para Estudio y Investigación de la Mujer. Fundación para la Defensa del Ambiente. Fundación para la Libertad Ascatasun. Fundación Pro Exo Eco. Fundación Proyecto de Paz Mundial. Fundación Red Deport y Cooperación. Fundación Salvadoreña para el Desarrollo Económico y Social. Fundación Síndrome de Down del Caribe. Fundación Teletón Mexico. Fundación Unitran. G. Gavi Fund. Gazetesiler ve Yazarler Vakfi. GED Foundation. General Arab Women Federation. General Confederation of Trade Unions. General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. General Federation of Jordanian Women. General Research Institute on the Convention on the Rights of the Child. General Union. General Union of Chambers of Commerce, Industry and Génération Recherche Action et Formation pour l'Environnement. Generations United. Geneva Infant Feeding Association. Geneva International Model United Nations. Geneva Social Observatory. Genève pour les droits de l'homme, Formation Internationale. Géopolitique Tanax Causes Nouvelle Epidémie. Geriatrics Care Foundation of Pakistan. German Foundation for World Population. German Women. Gerush 92. Committee for Human Rights. Gebiet Varda Manche. GIC Technologies Nouvelles au Cameroun. Girl Scouts of the United States of America. Girls Learn International. Girls Power Initiative. Give to Colombia. Global 2000. Global 2000. Global Action Against Poverty. Global Action on Aging. Global Action Plan International. Global African Congress. Global Aid Network. Global Alliance Against Traffic in Women. Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. Global Alliance for Women's Health. Global Alliance on Accessible Technologies and Environments. Global Business Coalition on HIV/AIDS. Tuberculosis and Malaria. Global Campaign for Climate Action. Global Cooperation Society. Global Deaf Connection. Global Economist Forum. Global Eco-Village Network. Global Environment and Technology Foundation. Global Environmental Action. Global Exchange. Global Family for Love and Peace. Global Forum of Spiritual and Parliamentary Leaders. Global Foundation for Democracy and Development. Global Fund for Children. Global Fund for Women. Global Hand. Global Health and Awareness Research Foundation. Global Health Council. Global Helping to Advance Women and Children. Global Hope Network International. Global Housing Foundation. Global Justice Center. Global Network of People Living with HIV/AIDS. Global Policy Forum. Global Political Trends Center. Global Race Against Poverty and HIV/AIDS in Nigeria. Global Rights. Global Village for Rehabilitation and Development. Global Volunteer Network Foundation. Global Volunteers. Global Welfare Association. Global Wind Energy Council. Global Witness. Global Workers. Justice Alliance. Global Youth Action Network. Globe Aware. Globe International. Globe Vert. Globethics.net Foundation. Globe Tree. Globus et Locus. God's Harvest Foundation. Godwing Asung International Foundation. Goi Peace Foundation. Gong. Good Neighbors International. Good People International. Gorakhpur Environmental Action Group. Grain and Feed Trade Association. Gram Bharati Samitai. Gram Ina Vikas Samithai. Grand Fraternidad Universal. Grand Council of the Crees. Grand Triangle. Grassroots Leadership. Grassroots organizations operating together in sisterhood. Grey Panthers. Greek Council for Refugees. Greek Orthodox Archdiocesan Council of North and South America. Green Asian Network, Green Cross International, Green Front of Iran, Greener Impact International, Greenpeace International, Group for Study and Defense of Ecosystems of the Lower and Middle Amazon, Group of 78, Group on Erosion, Action Technology and Concentration, Group Communication International and Technologies, Cultures ET Services, Group D Action pour la Protection et la Promotion de la Flore et la Faune, Groupe de Recherche et d'Action pour le bien-être social, Groupe d'Économie solidaire du Québec, Groupe d'Ong pour la Convention relative auxiliary droits de l'enfant, Groupe Pivot, droit et citoyenneté des femmes, Groupement depuis auxiliary initiatives économiques des femmes, Grupo de Información en Reproducción Elegida, Grupo Ecológico Sierra Gorda, Grupo Intercultural Almaciga, GS1, Guild of Service, Guinea Development Foundation, Gulf Automobile Federation, Gulf Research Centre Foundation, Gun Control Australia, Guru Angad Dev Seva Society, Punjab, Ludhiana, Guyana Responsible Parenthood Association, Guaup L'Espoir ak Lavi, H. Habitat for Humanity International, Habitat International Coalition, Hadassah, Women's Zionist Organization of America, Haiti Mission, Half the Sky Foundation, Hawley Movement for Social and Community Development, Handicap International, Handicapped, Hands of Love Group System, Hariri Foundation for Sustainable Human Development, Hawa Society for Women, Hawaii Association of International Buddhists, Health for Humanity, Health on the Net Foundation, Healthy Solutions, Heartbeat International Foundation, Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, Haida Resource Center, Heifer Project International, Heinrich Boel Foundation, Helen Keller International, Helio International, Helios Life Association, Hellenic Research and Educational Institute Panos Milenas for Road Safety, Help a Child Africa, Help for the Andes Foundation, Help Handicapped International, Help Old People, Help the Aged United Kingdom, Help Age International, Helsinki Foundation for Human Rights, Henry Dunant Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, Heritage Foundation, High Atlas Foundation, Himalayan Research and Cultural Foundation, Hindu Council of New Zealand, Historiques en Afrique, Hoffnung Psychen, Homosexual Initiative Wien, Hong Kong Council of Social Service, Hong Kong Federation of Women, Hong Kong Federation of Women's Centers, Hong Kong Women Professionals and Entrepreneurs Association, Hope for Africa, Hope for the Nations, Hope Medical Enterprises, Hope Worldwide, Horizon Foundation, Housing Works, Howard Center for Family, Religion and Society, Howard League for Penal Reform, Huero Commission, Hudson Institute, Humanes, Human Appeal International, Human Lactation Center, Human Relief Foundation, Human Resource Development Foundation, Human Rights Advocates, Human Rights Association for Community Development in Asiat, Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, Human Rights Congress for Bangladesh Minorities, Human Rights Council of Australia, Human Rights Defence Centre, Human Rights Education Associates, Human Rights First, Human Rights House Foundation, Human Rights Information and Documentation Systems International, Human Rights Information and Training Center, Human Rights Law Center, Human Rights League of the Horn of Africa, Human Rights National Circle, Human Rights Network, Human Rights Now, Human Rights Watch, Human Security Initiative Organization, Human Service Alliance, Humane Society of the United States, Humanist Institute for Cooperation with Developing Countries, Humanitaire Plus. Humanitarian Accountability. Partnership International. Humanitarian Foundation of Canada. Humanitarian Law Centre. Humanity First. Hunger Project. Hunt Alternatives Fund. Hunter College Center for Community and Urban Health. Hydroid. IAEA. Ibero-American Institute of Aeronautic and Space Law and Commercial Aviation. Ibero-American Institute of Maritime Law. ICAO. 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 ICT for Peace Foundation. IC Volunteers. ICW Global. Comunidad Internacional de Mujeres Viviendo con VIH-Sida. Ideal World Foundation. IDP Foundation. IFENDU for Women's Development. Imam Ali's Popular Students Relief Society. Imam Al-Sadr Foundation. Imam Mahdi Association of Marjaya. Imamia Medics International. Impact for Change and Development. Impacto. Imperial Orthodox Palestine Society. Inclusion International. Incorvus XXI. Independent Advocacy Project. India Vision Foundation. Indian Association of Parliamentarians on Population and Development. Indian Committee of Youth Organizations. Indian Council of Education. Indian Council of South America. Indian Development Foundation. Indian Dreams Foundation. Indian Federation of United Nations Associations. Indian Law Resource Center. Indian Movement to Pajamaru. Indian Muslim Council, USA. Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. Indian Social Institute. Indigenous and Peasant Coordinator of Communal Agroforestry. Indigenous Information Network. Indigenous People of Africa Coordinating Committee. Indigenous Peoples Survival Foundation. Indigenous Tourism Rights International. Indigenous World Association. Indira Gandhi Integral Education Center. Indo-European Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Indonesian Child Welfare Foundation. Indonesian National Council on Social Welfare. Industry Council for Development. Information Habitat. Inga Foundation. Ingenieurs du Monde. Initiativa Ciudadana Initiative du Millénaire des Femmes Africaines contre la pauvreté et pour les droits. Initiative for Environment, Health, and Social Development. Initiatives of Change International. Initiatives, Women in Development. Intertrip Riokai International. Innovation, Africa. Inyo Council of Nida Sinan. Institut Arabe des Droits de l'Homme. Institut de la Gestion de l'Aiguille. Institut de Politique Familiale. Institut International des Sciences Politiques. Institut International pour la Paix. La Justice et les Droits de l'Homme. Institut Jules Destry. Institute for African Alternatives. Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy. Institute for Cognitive Science Studies. Institute for Conflict Transformation and Peace Building. Institute for Conscious Global Change. Institute for Energy and Environmental Research. Institute for Environment and Development Studies. Institute for Global Environmental Strategies. Institute for International Economic Cooperation and Development. Institute for International Urban Development. Institute for Interreligious Dialogue. Institute for Multicultural Communications, Cooperation, and Development. Institute for Planetary Synthesis. Institute for Policy Studies. Institute for Practical Idealism. Institute for Security Studies. Institute for Sustainable Development and Research. Institute for the Development of Education, Arts and Leisure. Institute for the Development of International Cooperation. Institute for Traffic Care. Institute for Transportation and Development Policy. Institute for War and Peace Reporting. Institute for Women's Studies and Research. Institut International Jacques Maritain. Institute of Air Transport. Institute of Asian Culture and Development. Institute of Cultural Affairs International, Institute of Economic Strategies, Institute of Global Education, Institute of Higher Management, Institute of Inter-Balkan Relations, Institute of Internal Auditors, Institute of International Container Lessors, Institute of International Education, Institute of International Law, Institute of International Social Development, Institute of International Sociology of Gorizia, Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology, Institute of Marine Engineers, Institute of No-Hide Code, Institute of Objective Studies, Institute of Road Traffic Education, Institute of Social Studies Trust, Institute on Human Rights and the Holocaust. Institutions: Instituto Brasileiro de Análises Sociais e Econômicas, Instituto de Aco Cultural, Instituto para la Participação e el Desarrollo INPAD, Instituto Qualivida, Integrated Care Society, Integrated Development in Focus, Integrated Development Services, Interact Worldwide, Interaction, American Council for Voluntary International Action, Inter-African Committee on Traditional Practices Affecting the Health of Women, Inter-American Housing Union, Inter-American Parliamentary Group on Population and Development, Inter-American Planning Society, Inter-American Press Association, Inter-American Statistical Institute, Intercambios, Interchurch Medical Assistance, Inter-European Parliamentary Forum on Population and Development, Interfaith Vision Foundation Cameroon, INTERMON, International Abolitionist Federation, International Academy of Architecture, International Academy of Astronautics, International Academy of Aviation and Space Medicine, International Academy of Ecology and Life Protection Sciences, International Academy of Engineering, International Academy of Pathology, International Academy of Sciences on Information, Information Procedures and International Academy of Technological Sciences, International Action Network on Small Arms, International Administrative Science Association, International Advertising Association, International Advisory Committee on Population and Law, International Aeronautical Federation, International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness, International AIDS Society, International AIDS Initiative, International Air Transport Association, International Alert, International Alliance of Women, International Amateur Radio Union ITU, International Architects Designers Planners for Social Responsibility, International Art and Technology Cooperation Organization, International Assets Valuation Standards Committee, International Association Zenani, International Association Against Noise, International Association Against Painful Experiments on Animals, International Association Against Torture, International Association for Advancement of Space Safety, International Association for Bridge and Structural Engineering, International Association for Serial Science and Technology, International Association for Community Development, International Association for Continuing Engineering, International Association for Counseling, International Association for Democracy in Africa, International Association for Driving Instruction and Traffic Education, International Association for Educational Assessment, International Association for Housing Science, International Association for Human Values, International Association for Humanitarian Medicine Brock-Chisholm, International Association for Hydraulic Research, International Association for Hydrogen Energy, International Association for Impact Assessment, International Association for Integration, Dignity and Economic Advancement, International Association for Maternal and Neonatal Health, International Association for Media and Communication Research, International Association for Natural Gas Vehicles, International Association for Religious Freedom. International Association for Research in Income and Wealth. International Association for Sports and Leisure Facilities. International Association for Suicide Prevention. International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global. International Association for the Child's Right to Play. International Association for the Defense of Religious Liberty. International Association for the Exchange of Students for Technical Experience. International Association for the Physical Sciences of the International Association for the Promotion of Democracy under God. International Association for the Protection of Intellectual Property. International Association for the Study of Pain. International Association for Volunteer Effort. International Association for Water Law. International Association for Women's Mental Health. International Association of Agricultural Economists. International Association of Agricultural Librarians and International Association of Aircraft Brokers and Agents. International Association of Airport and Seaport Police. International Association of Applied Linguistics. International Association of Applied Psychology. International Association of Art. International Association of Broadcasters ITU. International Association of Cancer Registries. International Association of Charities. International Association of Chiefs of Police. International Association of Classification Societies. International Association of Conference Interpreters. International Association of Crafts and Small End. International Association of Democratic Lawyers. International Association of Drilling Contractors. International Association of Dry Cargo Shipowners. International Association of Educators for World Peace. International Association of Fish Meal Manufacturers. International Association of Gerontology and Geriatrics. International Association of Homes and Services for the Aging. International Association of Horticultural Producers. International Association of Hydrogeologists. International Association of Independent Tanker Owners. International Association of Initiatives of Change. International Association of Institutes of Navigation. International Association of Islamic Banks. International Association of Jewish Lawyers and Jurists. International Association of Judges. International Association of Lawyers Against Nuclear Arms. International Association of Lions Clubs. International Association of Literary Critics. International Association of Logopedics and Phoniatrics. International Association of Medical Colleges. International Association of Medical Laboratory. International Association of Mutual Insurance Companies. International Association of Oil Gas Producers. International Association of Peace Foundations. International Association of Peace Messenger Cities. International Association of Penal Law. International Association of Ports and Harbors. International Association of Producers of Insurance and International Association of Prosecutors. International Association of Safety Professionals. International Association of Schools of Social Work. International Association of Science Parks. International Association of Seed Crushers. International Association of Soldiers for Peace. International Association of Students in Agricultural and International Association of Students in Economics and International Association of the Soap Detergent and Maintenance Products Industry. International Association of the Third Age Universities. International Association of Trading Organizations for a International Association of Universities. International Association of University Presidents. International Association of University Professors and International Association of Women in Radio and Television. International Association of Women Judges. International Association of Youth and Family Judges and Magistrates. International Association of YS Men's Clubs. International Astronautical Federation. International Automobile Federation, International Baccalaureate Organization, International Bar Association, International Black Sea Club, International Black Women for Wages for Housework, International Blue Crescent Relief and Development Foundation, International Board of Cooperation for the Developing Countries, International Board on Books for Young People, International Bridges to Justice, International Buddhist Foundation, International Buddhist Relief Organization, International Bureau for Children's Rights, International Bureau for Epilepsy, International Bureau of Social Tourism, International Business Aviation Council, International Campaign to Ban Landmines, International Cargo Handling Coordination Association, IAEA, International Cartographic Association, International Catholic Child Bureau, International Catholic Committee of Nurses and International Catholic Migration Commission, International Catholic Rural Association, International Catholics Organization of the Media, International Cell Research Organization, International Center for Alcohol Policies, International Center for Clubhouse Development, International Center for Dynamics of Development, International Center for Not-for-Profit Law, International Center for Research on Women, International Center Innovations in Civic Participation, International Center for Earth Construction, International Center for Ethnic Studies, International Center for Human Rights and Democratic Development, International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, International Center for Scientific Culture World Laboratory, International Center for Study and Development, International Center for the Legal Protection of Human Rights, International Center for the Training of Bank Professionals, International Center for Trade and Sustainable Development, International Center for Trade Union Rights, International Center of Films for Children and Young People, International Center on Small Hydropower, International Chamber of Commerce, International Chamber of Shipping, International Children's Dream Foundation, International Circle of Faith Chaplaincy Corps, International Civil Aviation English Association, International Coastal and Ocean Organization, International Cocoa Trades Federation, International Collective in Support of Fish Workers, International Commission of Agricultural Engineering, International Commission of Catholic Prison Pastoral Care, International Commission of Jurists, International Commission on Distance Education, International Commission on Illumination, International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage, International Commission on Occupational Health, International Commission on Radiation Units and International Commission on Radiological Protection IAEA, International Commission on Workforce Development, International Committee Against Apartheid, Racism, and Colonialism in Southern, International Committee for Animal Recording, International Committee for Arab-Israeli Reconciliation, International Committee for Plastics in Agriculture, International Committee for Standardization in Hematology, International Committee for the Indians of the Americas, International Committee of Outer Space Onomastics, International Communities for the Renewal of the Earth, International Community Corrections Association, International Community Education Association, International Confederation for Agricultural Credit, International Confederation for Family Support, International Confederation of Associations of Experts and Consultants, International Confederation of Childhood Cancer Parent Organizations, International Confederation of Christian Family Movements, International Confederation of European Beet Growers, International Confederation of Ex-Prisoners of War, International Confederation of Free Trade Unions, International Confederation of Midwives, International Confederation of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, International Congo Aid, Smile African Children, International Congress of Industrialists and Entrepreneurs, International Container Bureau, International Cooperative Alliance, International Coordinating Council of Aerospace Industries. International Corrections and Prisons Association for the Advancement of. International Cost Engineering Council. International Council for Adult Education. International Council for Caring Communities. International Council for Commercial Arbitration. International Council for Control of Iodine Deficiency. International Council for Distance Education. International Council for Education of People with Visual Impairment. International Council for Game and Wildlife Conservation. International Council for Philosophy and Humanistic. International Council for Research and Innovation in Building and Construction. International Council for the Day of Vesak. International Council of Academies of Engineering and Technological Sciences. International Council of AIDS. Service Organizations. International Council of Aircraft Owner and Pilot Associations. International Council of Catholic Men. International Council of Chemical Associations. International Council of Cruise Lines. International Council of Environmental Law. International Council of Forest and Paper Associations. International Council of Graphic Design Associations. International Council of Hides, Skins, and Leather Traders. International Council of Jewish Women. International Council of Management Consulting Institutes. International Council of Marine Industry Associations. International Council of Museums. International Council of Nurses. International Council of Prison Medical Services. International Council of Psychologists. International Council of Russian Compatriots. International Council of Scientific Unions. International Council of Societies of Industrial Design. International Council of Sport and Physical Education. International Council of Toy Industries. International Council of Voluntary Agencies. International Council of Women. International Council on Alcohol and Addictions. International Council on Archives. International Council on Clean Transportation. International Council on Education for Teaching.